Hello, guys. Good morning again, everybody. So, Unit 5, Face to Face. We're starting a new unit, and as you can see in this new unit, we are studying how we interact with other people, especially in terms of vocabulary. We're going to be learning or remembering some phrases about interactions. We're also going to read and analyze how we interact with the world, with friends, with other people. And we're also going to learn some more expressions to be more, to sound more natural in English, especially British English, and we call that colloquial language. And in terms of grammar, which is what we are going to check now, we're going to learn how we can express the future in different ways using different structures. So let's start and let's start reviewing that part. I like analyzing sentences. I think they help us reflect and activate our brains just to think about the grammar and the different structures. So let's start doing that. I have some sentences here. I want you to think in the difference in the sentences. Of course, they are different in structure, but let's analyze how and why. Are they talking about the present? Are they talking about the future? What is the difference between using one structure or the other structure? When you do this, you can pause the video so you can analyze, you can make some notes, and then you can continue to hear the explanation and check, confirm, and reflect together. So, number one, what do you do in the evenings? Present, future, what is the structure? The structure or the tense is underlined. Do you do? We know that's present simple, right? And we're talking about the present. We know that we use present simple to talk about routines, right? Activities or events that occur, well, almost every day, and they are repeated most of the time. So, what do you do in the evenings? Well, I often take a nap. I often watch TV. I always have dinner with my family, something like that. It's a routine, something that occurs frequently almost every day. And that's one of the most common uses of present simple. So we're using present simple to express present, right? For routines. Number two, what are you doing this evening? Of course, we're using present continuous. When do we use present continuous, guys? Do you remember? We use present continuous to talk about the real present, right? So I'm speaking in English. That's the real present. It's occurring right now. So present continuous is the real present. I say it and it's occurring. But in this case, am I referring to the present or the future? Future, right? Because I'm talking about an event that will occur later. Today is the morning, so evening is future, so it's later. So careful. That's what we are going to start analyzing in this lesson. That sometimes we use structures that most of the time refer to one tense, but the meaning is for other tenses. So in this case, we're using present continuous, which normally expresses the present, to talk about the future. Probably you remember this. You have studied this in other levels, in other courses. We can use the present continuous to talk about the future. And most of the time we use the present continuous for this to talk about arrangements or plans that have details, right? So probably you have talked to your family, to your friends, or you have decided yourself to do something this evening. So tonight I'm not doing homework. So tonight I'm going to relax. So it's almost like a plan, more than a plan. I have the time, I have the movie, I have the food. I know exactly what I'm going to do. So what are you doing this evening? Well, I'm watching a movie with my friends and we are ordering pizza and we're having fun together. all of those sentences in present continuous because it's an arrangement. My friends know, we know the time, we know the movie, we know what type of food we're going to order, right? Future with present continuous. 3, get in the car. I'll give you a lift. Obviously, this is future because we're using will. Easy to spot. We use will, again, one of the most common structures to talk about the future. In general, will expresses prediction. You remember? I think. So when we give our opinion, we also use will about the future. So I think tomorrow will be a nice day. I think coronavirus will end soon. So I'm predicting, I'm giving my opinion, I use will. But in this case, we're not giving an opinion, right? So we are checking here in number 3 how we use future with will to talk about a different use. We're helping someone. We are giving an offer to help someone. And we can understand that the person was walking, the other person, right? I was in my car and the other person was walking, and by chance I saw the person on the street and I offered at that moment some help. So I was not planning this. It occurred spontaneously. So when you make decisions in the moment to help someone about the future, we use will, right? So offers and spontaneous decisions about the future, will. Get in the car, I'll give you a lift, right? So you are in the supermarket and you see someone, okay, don't worry, I'll help you, right, with your bags. So you were not planning that. You didn't wake up and you said, today I'm going to help Maria when I see her in the street, which is possible, right? But you don't do that, right? Or you don't say, I'm going to help somebody in the supermarket with her or his bags. Like, you make the decision spontaneously at the moment, but you use will. Check number 4. It's a similar idea about helping someone. But in this case, we're not using will. We're using going to. And of course, we're talking about the future. Why going to and not will? Because going to expresses plans, intentions, things we have considered before. So in this case, it's not a spontaneous decision. So I have talked to Anna, I have considered that, I know the time she's going to the airport, and I decided, after my consideration, to help her. So I'm going to give Anna a lift to the airport tomorrow. Yep, that's a basic distinction between will and going to. So what's important here? That we're going to see in this lesson that we can use different structures to talk about the future and to express different things in the future. Not all my sentences in the future are going to be with will or going to, right? There are other structures I can use, and even structures that normally express present can be used to talk about the future. So let's take a look at some more sentences. Again, do these sentences refer about the present or the future? Think about it. What is the structure? Present or future? And what is the meaning? Present or future? You can pause if you want, so you can analyze and make some notes. Let's check. Number 1, Mary's having a baby soon. We know that one is talking about the future, right? Mary's having a baby soon. We're talking about the future. At the moment, I'm packing. At the moment, I'm packing. That's present, right? I'm talking about what I'm doing now. At the moment, I'm packing. I work in the city. Present, right? And the last one, the plane leaves at 10:30. What are we talking about? Present or future? Future. Now the problem is, if you take a look at the examples, Mary's having a baby soon, and at the moment I'm packing. On both sentences, we're using the same structure, right? present continuous, present continuous. But we are referring to two different tenses. Present continuous for future, and we're also using present continuous for present, which is the normal way. That demonstrates that a structure can be used to express two different tenses. How do we know which one we are expressing? Sometimes the context can help us, sometimes other words can help us. So in the first one, the context, it's making that sentence logical. We know that it's the future because Mary's having a baby soon. It's not happening now, but definitely it's going to happen in a short period of time in the future. And it's obviously occurring, like you cannot keep the baby inside. So the person knows when and probably knows the place, etc., right? So it's the future. In the second sentence, at the moment I'm packing, the word at the moment makes it obvious that we're talking about the present with the present continuous, right? The other two sentences, I work in the city, that's obviously present simple to talk about the present. A fact, a description of who I am or what I do, we use the present. The last sentence also is using present simple, but we're talking about the future. So we use present simple to talk about a special type of future, especially when we talk about planes, trains, or services that are scheduled or that have a timetable and most of the time are not moved, so they are fixed. We use the present simple. Again, careful guys, we can use different structures to talk about different things. Sometimes a structure can be used to talk about a tense, future, and the same structure can refer to present. So we need to be more careful and we need to be better at using our tenses, especially in the future, so we know exactly what we are trying to express and we use those subtle meanings to express with detail our future events. Again, we can use many structures to express future. Let's try to do the activity. Match the sentences and the meaning. You can pause the video if you want and try to match what is the idea for each of the sentences. Number 1. Tomorrow's weather will be warm and sunny. Will for future. What type of future? C. A prediction, right? We use will for predictions most of the time. In this case, that's the example. Number 2. The plane to Guadalajara leaves at 10:10 a.m. The structure is present simple, but I'm talking about the future. But what type of future? D. It's a future fact based on a schedule or timetable. Again, for planes, trains, buses, those hours, those times are fixed. You do not decide, other person decides, and they cannot move the time just because you want to. So to talk about a future fact, something that it's going to occur for sure, based on a schedule, we use present simple. Number 3, I'm going to buy a car next year. Going to. That's definitely an intention or a plan. So number 3 is B, right? 4, we're meeting Juan for lunch today. Present continuous. And this is an arrangement. Yeah, I'm having a meeting with someone and the person obviously knows the details of the meeting. Juan knows because I have talked to Juan. So Juan and I, we both know. So we're meeting today. We know the place, we know the time. So it's an arrangement between people. Number 4 is E. And finally, number 5, I'll make some coffee if you stay. That's a spontaneous decision, right? So I'm offering something to someone and I decided right now, so I use will for that one. So you have on the right column the different uses for the future. We use different structures when we want to express spontaneous decisions, intentions, predictions, facts, and also arrangement between people. So in summary, we have those different structures: will, going to, present continuous, and present simple. I like to see it in 2 ways. I like to go from will to more general future, to present simple to more specific future, right? And we have going to and present continuous in the middle. That's a good way of expressing future and remembering the future. The more general you are about the future, you use will. The more specific details you have about the future, you use present simple. So you go from will to present simple. But let's analyze in which other ways we can also use those structures or those words. Will, again, predictions and forecasts. You have some examples there. The weather will be perfect all week. That's a prediction, right? We also use it for spontaneous decisions. Like, I made the decision right now. It was not a plan. Yes, I'll marry you. If somebody asks you, will you marry me? Yes, I'll marry you. So you're answering a question at the moment. So you were not planning that, right? So yes, you decided. We also use it for offers and promises. I'll help you plan the party. I'll see you tomorrow. So when you promise something, you use will. So I promise I will do it. Remember, every time you use the word promise in the sentence and you're talking about a future event, you use will. So I'll see you tomorrow, I promise. Will. Going to, we go for some more specific future events, intentions. I want to do something, right? Previously made decisions. We're going to get married, but we don't know when. So we have thought about that. Yep. So we have this intention, this plan. We need to think about some more details, but we have decided to do it. Something that is likely to happen. Now, we also use going to for predictions, but in this case, there is more evidence for the predictions. So with will, it's just a general prediction. It's just my opinion. Yeah, I go out and I see that the sun is beautiful and, well, I say, well, tomorrow it will be a nice day. That's what I think, right? But when I use going to for predictions, most of the time I have evidence and I use the evidence to talk about that. So if I see a boy, a little girl, a baby playing next to fire, for example, I can say, and I can almost predict what is going to happen, and I have evidence. So a baby playing next fire or very close to fire, well, the baby is going to burn, kind of obviously, right? I have prediction about that. Yeah, the mom needs to be careful about that. So look at those clouds. It's going to rain. I'm looking at the clouds. I have evidence. So I'm still making a prediction that this can or cannot happen, but it's kind of obvious. Watch what you're doing because you can have an accident. I'm looking at you. You're going to fall over. Be careful, right? So something that is likely to happen most of the time because I have evidence, predictions as well. Present continuous. Clearly for arrangements and plans, things that are very in detail, you have discussed with another person. So from the intention with going to, you go to the plan, the detailed plan with the people involved. So we're getting married in Spain on July the 24th. And I can go even further in this hotel or in this place with this number of people. So now it's very detailed. I'm having a coffee with my boss tomorrow in Starbucks at 7. So this is very specific. Next one, I'm meeting my accountant tomorrow at 9. So again, arrangements and plans that have details. And finally, present simple. Now this is the most specific one, and most of the time this is out of you. We use it for timetables, bus, train, movie timetables, flight timetables, something that will occur at that time whether you like it or not. Yeah, so the movie starts at 9 and the movie is starting at that time. You arrive or you don't arrive. Yep, they didn't ask for your opinion about the time in this case. So it's a timetable, something that is a fact in the future. Schedule or repeated events again. So it's my birthday tomorrow, it's Christmas next week. I have a German class next week. Something that it's for a fact going to occur in the future. So remember, guys, we can use different structures to talk about the future. Be careful when you use them. Think about what you want to express, because yes, you are the one who decides, but be careful because each structure can express different things. And that's the idea, that we are better and more detailed with the way we use English, especially in the future now, to express our ideas in the future. Let's practice more about this, and let's read more about these in the book. You have the grammar focus there, and you have some more activities that you need to do. If you have questions or doubts when we connect, when we have an online session, you can ask those questions. Thank you very much, and let's keep working.